What's up, people? How are you? I think we got an overlay. Hey, what's up, people? I hope you're doing well. It's a blessed day to have you with us. It's 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, and that means it's time for MidLink, because it's Wednesday. Y'all know that. And so I'm Pastor Ty, and as always, I love to remind you God is up to something big in your life, and I'm excited to have a big broadcast show for you today. I'm excited about my guest. She's going to really inspire you as she has inspired us already. But before we bring our guest on, y'all know what we do. We like to do something where we can get in the comments, get in there and say hello, how you doing, good evening, encourage somebody and all of that. It's called our check-in. Check-in. In the comment section, say hello to somebody. How you doing? What's up? Emoji. Good evening, afternoon, morning, depending on wherever you are, and let us know that you are with us. What's up, Miss Kentara Lee? Hey to you. Good to see you on. Blessings to you. What's up, Africa Bell? I hope those girls are watching. I know they would be encouraged by our guest. Good evening to you. What's up, Miss Treese Swain? Good evening with the smiley face on. You got your y'all have something in common. You're going to find out in a minute. Zeldra Balters, Dr. Zeldra, what's up? How are you? Thank you so much for being on. Juanita Wilson, thank you for being with us this evening. We appreciate you joining us. What's up, Sabri? Hey to you. Thank you for being on this evening as well. Miss Shalonda, what's up? Hello, everybody, Hey, that's all. Hey, how you doing? All right. Hey, all right. I got it. Yeah. Okay. Savory, so excited. Good. I know. Me too. I'm excited too. It's going to be a blast. Everybody, I need you to do me this one favor. It's just one. It's real easy, real simple. I need you to like, share. I need you to subscribe if you're on YouTube. I need you to make sure your notification bells are on. I know you said that's like 4, not 1. But it's really one all-in-one favor. So I just need your help. That's the favor, really. The one favor is to help me. And so that's how you can help us, by sharing, liking, making sure you subscribe, make sure the notification bell are on, because we want to get this out to as many people as possible. And today, they're welcome any week, but today is really, I believe, is a great opportunity for to get your teen, your young adult, or someone to sit down and really see that, man, there is so much opportunity in front of them. This young lady right here is going to absolutely bless all of our lives. I'm excited about having her on. And so I'll give you this backstory and we'll bring her on to the virtual set. My wife and I were celebrating 20 years of marriage. 20 years of marriage, y'all. 20 years back in June. And on our way back from our trip there. And man, this is crazy. I'm sitting here thinking, as I'm talking, it feels like a couple more grays just popped out, because I'm thinking I've been married longer than this. Our guest is old, but okay, I'm not going. I'm going to just keep going past that, so I don't get stuck there. But we're headed back, and we happen to make a turn, a divine detour to get some fried green tomatoes smothered in etouffee. Yeah, don't ask me. They were amazing. They were great. And that's not all we got. We got all type of stuff. Well, after being all full and all the other stuff, we walked on our way to the car and we said, hey, we're going to get some little, sweets or something after that. We living it up. We're doing our thing. And so we stopped by this Dreaming Sweets. So we go in there and talk to the young lady who's working there. So I thought, she's working there. And of course, she's running this for her parents or somebody. They got her there, making it happen. I'm thinking like, of course, and I talked with her and she's like, so who's the owner? Me. Like, what? And I mean, this is brick and mortar. I mean, she's doing her thing. And I look and she's like, yeah. I'm like, how old are you? Because she looks 12, you know what I mean? And but she's like, I'm 19, that kind of thing. I'm like, what? And I was so inspired and encouraged. You hear all type of things that that particular generation is involved in. And so when you hear someone who is doing something significant, I think it's important for us to highlight it. And so I asked her if I could have her on MidLink. This was a few months ago, and she probably didn't think I was going to reach out to her, but I did. And I said, hey, are you still interested? And she was. And we put the pieces together, and she is here tonight. Can you do me a favor? I know you already checked in. I know you did all that other stuff, but I still need you to go crazy in the comments section and welcome the one, the only. I'm telling you, the woman herself, she's here. Miss Trinity Marks, the entrepreneur she's the owner of Dreaming Sweets. Can y'all give it up for Miss Trinity? Can you give it for Miss Trinity? And she has an amazing name, Trinity. That's my baby's name, my oldest daughter's name. And they kind of look alike too. I told her Trinity probably is going to look similar to her when she gets that age. And so I know she probably thinks this dude is weird. Who's older than what we're talking about. So, but Trinity, what's up, Trinity?
Hey.
How are you?
Oh, it's so cool being here.
Yeah,
Pretty
we're excited
cool.
to have you here. I'm excited about you being with us tonight. Barry, they said, welcome, Trinity. Whoever Facebook user is, Savory said,
Oh,
welcome,
thank you.
Trinity. They said, welcome. Glad to have you with us, Trinity. Man, she's got the name, divine name. Welcome, Miss Trinity. All right, so they're welcoming you. Well, thank you again for taking out time out of your busy schedule. You know, I'm well aware from firsthand experience as an entrepreneur that there is a different kind of demand on you when you have a responsibility like a business. But before we get into the business portion of it, I just want to kind of rewind back because, you know, this may be like normal to you, but this is not like regular. You know, this is like a little different. And so I've got to like kind of pick your brain just a little bit and see, okay, tell us about Trinity. Tell us about where you're from, you know, growing up, that kind of thing, and just give us a little bit of background of about yourself.
Okay, my name is Trinity Marks. I'm 19 years old. I was born in Missouri and I'm a military brat, so I grew up all over Europe. Pretty creative child. I can't really stick to one thing creatively because my mind goes like in five different directions. So this book is like really helpful with that. Um, I would say like a key factor though is I just really like to make people smile and I like to see their face go, whoa. So that's a big motivation. Also breaking people's diets. That's
Hey, no, we've got to we have to have some of your, you know, your tasty stuff like in segments, like in pieces. Like we can't just like be having this stuff all the time. She said, I like to break people's diets. You know,
yes.
that's not cool, Miss Trinity. I think it's kind of cool, but you know, we have to show some self control. Because I was in there and I'm like, man, should I get this? Should I get this? What should I get? And she just had so many things that for us to choose from. Let me ask you this. So was it the growing up in Europe? Was it, you know, Missouri? What like kind of sparked you with this whole uh was it your parents, this whole creative entrepreneurial uh type of thing?
It would be my parents. My mom had a bakery that she named after me, Trinity's Treats, and
Uh
my dad had a soul food restaurant, Buckethead. So they were both entrepreneurs.
uh
So it's like a mega mind of knowledge that I
uh
had at a young age. And I just took from them.
Yeah, that's amazing, and you're teaching us some stuff here, parents. For those of us who have this little bit of, you know, white or gray in your y'all ladies, y'all don't have it in your beard, but you may have it in your on your edges. So don't act like you know, your edges got a little gray. I know you put the little stuff in there, Beijing and all that, but it's under
A
there.
little hair
Yeah,
dye.
yeah, all of that other stuff. So, but she's saying the influence that her parents had on her, you know, from a creative standpoint and from an entrepreneurial standpoint. One of the statements that you've heard us make, and I borrowed the statement from Apostle Amos L. Howard, but it is exposure expands your expectation. And I believe it's no accident that she's an entrepreneur at the age that she is, you know, being, you know, just being seen that it was possible living amongst it to know that, or my parents had this, then it's just kind of normal. It's just kind of something that she's able to do. So you picked up on it from your parents. Now, both of them must be, pretty creative. To be
Yes,
entrepreneurial, you got to be a little bit, you got to have some creative juices flowing.
I would blame my mom for that. Her careers are so cool. She was a cake designer. She was a carpenter. Imagine you just come home from tiered cakes to, hey, I built a table, like a big one. So I just learned from her.
so, so were you like jumping in there as a kid with her, and or were you kind of not thinking that you were gonna deal with that? Did you find it, or it found you?
Kind of both. I would go in while she's in the bakery, and I would try to like change the recipes or rearrange how things are presented. And I tell myself, I was like 12 at the time. I was like, she named it after me, so I could do it. But yeah, things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that sounds like a Trinity answer. You know,
Yeah.
it sounds like my Trinity. You know what I mean? So, yeah, she's a creative too, by the way. So, were you learning anything, or were you just trying to kind of be just mischievous?
I learned things. Well, kind of both. I would say both. She showed me how to go outside of recipes and
Yeah.
experiments, and then also how to like go out and create the business and present it well.
Yeah. So mom, she didn't mean whatever she did, to get in trouble back then.
It
She
looked
was
good. It looked great. That cupcake bar renovation,
it was on the
it was
job training.
necessary.
She was learning. It brought her to where she is now. You know what I mean? I'm trying to help you out. But okay, so so it's one thing um to be around your parents, to be around your mom, the bakery, that whole type of thing. It's another thing to say, you know what, I can do this on my own. Where does that come from? Where does that get up and go? And uh I guess this is a B part of the question. Is this your first attempt? Is this your first business, or did you try other little things, lemonade stand and all that, before you jumped out there the way you are now?
I had like a sort of dessert stand. Yes, that's a funny story. I would sell cookies and brownies and such on the military base outside of my house on a table. And I had these cops pull up, and they're like, "You got some cookies?" But my mom got scared. She disappeared. I looked back and said, "Mama." So I started with the table. I used to bring pound cakes to my school for presentations. I would cut the cake and I would pass it out to the students and the teacher, and then I would start my presentation. So it was like
Oh
kind of
yeah,
got you now.
got you.
And then the business, stepping out on this business, sort of a chaotic, no fear of failure thing. It's kind of scary at moments, but it's worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think once you've got a level of preparation, and you have, one of the things you have at your advantage is you have um, the knowledge of your parents, because some of the things that they learned along the way, you don't have to learn kind of the hard way. They learned it for you. So, that's a good thing. But then also, just at your age, just when you have a level of fearlessness, and you're just not exposed to some of the dangers, or if you are, you really don't care. You just feel like you're invincible, man. It's just what it is. But
Like
but
Superwoman.
utilizing that to your advantage, though, and sometimes what people your age, young adults such as yourself, they take that and they get off into other things because they feel like, hey, nothing will hurt me. But it seems like you've been able to take that and channel it to this positive direction with the whole dreaming sweets. So, what made you expand beyond just baking? Because, and we'll get into what all you serve here in a minute, but I mean, well, I guess you already answered that. Kind of your mind going five different directions, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you picked it. And it's also like like you get to make really cool flavors. And I would say this for like cupcakes, cakes, translates into the other products that I do. You can make really interesting flavors that will make people stop and look at it like, girl, you crazy. Why you make this?
Yeah.
But it's real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the wildest flavor you've made?
Fat Albert, which
Okay, tell us about it, Fat
is
Albert. You too young.
okay,
You
let
too
me
young to
give you
even
like
know
what I
about Fat
like.
Albert though.
I don't. It's the funny part. My dad named it.
Oh yeah, it had to be somebody who know about Fat Albert, man. I'm not even going to make the sound for you, but go ahead.
I I like to think of it as, you know, Willy Wonka's bubble gum where you had the breakfast, lunch, dinner in it.
Uh-huh.
So somehow we managed to make Fat Albert taste like a loaded baked potato.
What?
So it's like bacon, sour cream, chive, and then the buffalo part all in one.
What?
Yeah.
That's popcorn?
Mm-hmm.
So you eating like a loaded baked potato, but
Yeah.
it's popcorn.
When we first created it, I actually ate it for dinner. It
What?
was yes, real good. Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of such. But you know, I got that from you when I was there. Like everything we would look at, it was just like, oh, I've never seen that before. And it wasn't just like one particular thing. There were a few different things where it's like, I've never considered that goes with that or whatever it is. And what you're saying, I can see that because I've been there. So I can see that, yeah, that is the nature of just who you are, just bringing that whole creative spin on it. Now, talk to me a little bit about this because it's one thing to dream it. It's one thing to have it on paper. It's one thing to have it in your mind. It's one thing to think that it's a good idea. It's another thing to really execute. And so what was the timetable from, hey, I think I'm going to start my own business to really cutting the ribbon or unlocking the door?
So the timeline went a little something like this.
Hit it.
17. I'm 17 years old in November of 2021. I was doing virtual school, so I was more mobile and I was able to move around while still being in math class. So I started selling and then I would save my money. And by the time I graduated May 2022, by that September, I had the storefront.
Wow.
Yes. So this upcoming September would be the 1 year of the store, and this upcoming November would be the 2 year of the business.
Wow, the 2 year of the business. So 17 opened up at 18.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I'm thinking 19. I'm like, yeah, she's 19. This girl, like, no, I'm 17, getting it moving. Like, what in the world? That is amazing. I see wows and that is awesome. And man, awesomeness. That's what I told y'all. I told you, didn't I tell you? That's crazy. And here's the thing about it too. Her storefront is excellent. Like it is, everything's orderly, everything's neatly. The packaging is amazing, labels, and I mean, it's not just like, hey, she threw some stuff in a place to say, hey, come in my store and support it. Because y'all know I'm all for supporting everybody. However, you know, you don't just get a pass because, you know, we're of the same hue. You know, it still has to be, the expectation is still the expectation. And she is representing well, especially at her age. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Like I told you when I went in, and I must admit, I'm thinking somebody has a niece, daughter, somebody running the store for them. But she's like, no, this me. It's me right here. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, okay, you know, cool. But
I feel like the undercover boss being here
yeah,
sometimes.
that's an advantage for you though.
And nobody knows who it is.
Yeah.
And I just hear people, they'll write on my wall right here the reviews. Yeah. And I just see them writing it. I'm behind the counter. I'm like, yes, yes. And then they leave and I'm like, thank you for coming to my shop. And they're like, wait, this is you?
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, you got the responsibility of this business owner and you're making this thing happen. You know, it's just that it's a responsibility. So how do you balance that with being a young adult and having some social life? Is that a priority for you now? Are you kind of tunnel vision on the business? What does that even look like?
Um, I actually just now got some friends since I moved here, and I moved to Georgia 2021 because my parents wanted me to go to high school back in America, but then COVID happened, and then I went to online school. So I just recently got some friends, so we about to find that out real quick. Um, but yeah, it's been pretty cool. I more so like I like finding the kids around my age group, 18 to 21. That's kind of the range that tends to be forgotten most of the time because most people expect them to be away at college, and I'm here doing a business, and I
Yeah.
see other people like me, and they're like, hey, where do we go? Because most of the time there isn't a program for you because it's either high school age, 18 and below, or like 21 and up.
Yes.
So I'm like, y'all could come here and we could talk.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say that sounds like that's another um, interest of yours. You like putting smiles on people's faces. If you think they smile for popcorn and um, bakery goods, you know how much they'll smile if you help them get into business for themselves if they have that passion or that thing, that entrepreneurial thing about them. So that may be, one of the reasons that you're kind of forerunning this so that you can help others. I would dare to say that's the case. I just believe that we go through things so that we, not just for ourselves, but we can assist those who are coming behind us. Let me ask you this question. So coming along 17, let me make sure I get it right. 17 coming out the gate. Did you find that people were they were intimidated by that, or did you feel like people helped you because you're kind of this young girl? Let me help her out. She's trying to figure it out, or was it a mix?
It was definitely I have a few oh that's the little girl comments. When I first started out, it was you're the little girl with the cupcakes, and nobody really expected me to come with the level of professionalism and the presentation that I started off with because I was very adamant I didn't want to like come out with subpar packaging and stuff, and I wanted
Yeah.
to market it in areas that were like professional areas.
Yeah.
So at first I was getting, why is she here? She doesn't qualify. She don't even have a degree. She's not out of high school. I still had exams that I was doing. I still had homework. I had to be in bed by 10. I had class at 8. But I mean, I made it happen. Even now, about a year and a half, almost 2 years into the business, there are some times where I'm in award ceremonies, and sometimes I could get like a little bit scared. Like I'll turn to my mom. I'm like, Mom, they got lives. Like they're established. They
Yeah.
could drive real good now and in here. But she told me, you're good. Just put your neck up and you got it.
Yeah.
And I'm getting more people to help now. More people have respect for the business now, and they recognize it. But at first, it was extremely tricky.
Yeah, I can only imagine. You have those things that are working against you concerning that, just that whole demographic and people sitting back, kind of see what you're going to do. If you're going to really make it, that kind of thing. And that's a note. That's a really good place to make a note for us as parents. Is that sometimes you can be so afraid, I guess, for your child, or afraid for them to fail, that you kind of hinder them from exploring and maximizing who they are and who God has created them to be. I mean, sometimes parents can be like some dream killers. You know what I mean? Because, and I don't think it's intentional or deliberate. I just think a lot of time it's you superimpose those fears that you have and the things that you know about the world. Because at your age, it's like I said, you jaded, man. It's like whatever, we can get it done. It's nothing is impossible. Then you live so long. If you're not careful, you'll find yourself, just thinking all of why you can't do something rather than why you can, and you will move that towards your kids, and you try to nudge them toward the safety of degrees, safety of school, safety of whatever it is, And so that's a lesson for us that we can take away, that you know, if there's something that your child has, and I'm not talking about this, you know, our kids come up with random stuff sometimes that they want to do and they don't want to do it again tomorrow. I'm talking about if there's a consistent thing. The Bible tells us to train up a child in the way he should go. One translation says in the way that he or she is bent. And so that means to me that God has already placed in them a certain tendency or certain bend. And our job as parents is to steward well over them and to nurture them and kind of move them in that direction and help them as much as we can, you know. So now what does that look like? Because this is wonderful, amazing, all of that. But guess what? There's funding. It costs, you know, to, and where you're located, you're like not in the alley somewhere where you got to go knock on the back door and give a code password or something like that. You know, you're right there on the main street there. And so, you know, I don't know what rents are and all that in Douglasville, but what I do know is it costs to run a business. And so you're saving your money, you're doing all of that, you know. I'm sure there were some sacrifices that had to be made. I guess that's the point I'm getting to.
I'm very blessed that my dad's very good with numbers.
Good.
He actually made it possible for me to like not have to take any big loans from my credit, and he taught me more so how to make transactions that would self-fund. So I started off, I had a job at Chipotle. I took my last check, roughly $300, ran with the hobby I knew. I knew my cakes were good. I knew that people loved them. Bought the products that I would need to sell it, packaging, labels, and I started selling. So Kumba Coffee in downtown Douglasville, they let me be in their coffee shop. My mom built me a cart and I put a refrigerator. They let me sell.
There go mom building stuff again.
Yes,
came in handy this time.
I got it. Okay. Barbara the builder. I was in Kumba Coffee for about a few months, and then my mom taught me how to do wholesale orders. So then I started wholesaling cakes to restaurants, and that was big on saving. And then, yeah, I think that a combination of really good transactions helped me get the storefront.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, there's just so much in that because, you know, she said I took and flipped a Chipotle check and I invested it. I didn't go buy no Jordans. I didn't go buy, you know, this, that, some things I'm sure she probably would have liked.
I got sort of a nail addiction. So I had some Amazon packages, like 50 nail polishes a week, but I had my little.
So you had your little But but you kept the main thing though. And you know what the goal was. Okay, I'm gonna do this right so I can, once I get this settled, I can get the nails whenever I want to. You know what I mean? So if I do this right, and so I can't eat up my seed money though.
Yes.
So taking that Chipotle money, and this is what I do well, investing in yourself. You know, betting on you.
I had to credit the city of Douglasville whenever you ask if anybody supported me. If it were not like other businesses, it would be the city. They were the first one to take me real serious at the ripe age of 17. They were like, come to my city event. We don't have any other vendors. We want you. And they put me in the room with the mayors and everybody else important.
Yeah.
Really early on in the business. Like I was 3 months fresh in business and they would put me in their rooms. Yeah. And now I'm on their advisory board for the city.
Come on, Trinity.
Yeah, youngest member there. And I was like, man, y'all took me serious. It's like they saw me as just a person who was good at business, and they didn't put the age into it. Unless I was building Legos at the table, it wasn't concerned to them. So that was nice.
Well, here's what I'll say. You know, that's what we'll say in the church world. We'll say, you know, that's the grace on your life. That's the anointing on your life, because I'm a big believer. I believe God opened doors, but it's up to us to walk through them. And then it's up to us what we do when we get in the room. You know, so everybody's like, oh, God's open doors, open door season. Okay, that's great. That's wonderful. But you got to walk through them. You have to put forth the effort, because guess what? The mayor could have invited you and you either didn't show up or your product wasn't right. you know, you kind of burnt the stuff that day, you know,
Mhm.
you still had a part that you had to play. And so God does what we can't do, but then there's some things that we can do that a lot of times we're not doing. Our team, you know, our folks around, you know, with church, they know if I get somewhere close to somebody that I feel like has an answer, I'm going to go approach them. They're going to either say, get out my face, or they're going to start talking to me. In most cases, they talk to me and we exchange cell phone numbers and all that other stuff. That's how you're on here today. It was like, well, this
Yes.
girl, young lady, I don't want to call you girl, kid. I'm like, she is doing some wonderful stuff that people need to know about. Hey, you have a card, you have information, how can we be in contact, so forth and so on. So I think it's important that, you know, to let people know this just doesn't happen just automatically. And when you make the effort, you know, it's an old song that talks about when you make one step, you'll make two kind of thing. So, you know, it's like when you make the effort, then yeah, okay. Hey, can you come to this? Okay, she did good at this. Oh, who's the girl with the cakes? Oh, this was amazing. And the next thing you know, that people are talking about you and you got the buzz going. And then now you're on the advisory board, making history, youngest, you know, probably youngest black female, period. You know, it's like, you know, it's those steps, but we have to take the steps. God orders the steps are ordered, but we've got to walk in them. You know, we've got to put forth that effort. So it's amazing. Hey,
Oh, it's my mama, Barbara Builder.
hey, mama, thank you so
Mhm.
much for this amazing young lady. I'm so glad she's on with us.
She said, "You see me? See
I'm
each
sure
other."
you've been on. She's been saying, you know, you building stuff, Barbara the Builder, you know, but now it's paying off. You know what I mean? All that putting that good time, and I know she was messing up your recipes and stealing beaters from the mixers and all that back in the day. But forgive her, mama. She ain't mean it. She was testing out her stuff for today. You know what I mean? So it's all in the past. It's water under the bridge. It's okay. It's over. But thank you for being on. Blessings to you as well. So Trinity, tell me this. Tell me about now the doors are open. You know, tell me about getting this thing. It's one thing to obtain, another thing to maintain. So tell me about getting in the business. You know, how did you promote it? What did you do? I like practical steps because there's somebody who's listening. They're like, okay, but tell me how though. You know, so did you go door to door? Did you have cars? Did you have free samples? What did you do?
Okay, so first thing, make sure you got good packaging to put your products in. Make sure you have all your legal paperwork out the way. Make sure that you have all of that put together. There's no
Yeah.
slipping on bananas and suing me.
Yeah.
Um, I would mainly go by word of mouth since it is food. Most people are very liable to tell people about good things that they've eaten, especially if it's pretty. Like, look, no shame. This is gorgeous.
Yes.
This is pretty.
Yes.
So, presentation plays into that, how it gets promoted. Right now, one of my hobbies is photography, videography. So I
That's one of
get
them
to
five
utilize
things
that
that
a lot.
one of them
Yeah.
five brains, photography.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then I'm also a writer, so I get to write very detailed captions, and I sometimes do like story time type of videos about a brownie, and I make this brownie sound like you need it, like Dr. Seuss 3.0, 5.7. It's fun. Um, Save your funds, save them. We don't need Chick-fil-A every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I do, but drive quickly. What would be another thing? Mm, I wholesale. You could wholesale. There's more avenue than just the people, the customers who walk through your door. You could try getting it into stores, and that doesn't like you don't have to start with big stores like Sam's Club. You could start by local coffee shops, gyms. I went to a gym cafe, very niche places that
Yeah.
people normally would not think about. I'm like, let me put it there.
Yeah.
That's about what I could think of off the top
I
of my
mean,
head.
that's a lot.
It
That's
was good.
that's great. That
No.
I'm saying not a lot like too much. I'm saying that is great if the entrepreneurs would take that. She says your presentation plays into your what you say, your packaging, your presentation. In other words, it plays into your promotion. There you go, because it was 3 P's. Your presentation plays into your promotion. And so people will talk more about your packaging, because I'm telling you, you kind of eat stuff and you don't want to even throw the package away. You're like, I'm going to just hold on to this for a souvenir. You know what I mean? So the packaging is even speaking to you. It tastes good before you even taste it. It tastes good because it looks good. You know, so making sure it's excellent in the presentation, I think that's a wonderful nugget for those who are entrepreneurs. And then she talked about, you know, how you can make sure you maximizing where you are. You know, okay, you may not be able to get in Starbucks right now. Starbucks got it on lock, but there's the corner little cafe coffee shop. Can you get in there? Can you get in the soul food spot and put your cakes and stuff in there? You know, can you do so? There's ways. She said the gym cafe. So you know, you should, man. I'm telling you, those are tools. And sometimes what you have to do is you have to put pieces together to make a whole. And sometimes what we do, if we can't get the whole, we say, oh, forget it. Instead of saying, no, let me rock right here, do this right here. Somebody's going to see my stuff. And this is just the level. This is what I've got to do right now, you know, and be willing to do it. And that's the difference too. Sometimes people aren't willing to do what it takes right now so they can get to the next level. And so that is so important for us to understand. Those are some great tools, being creative. So, man, that is good stuff, Miss Trinity. Those are great things. I do have another question for you. I know our time is really about up, but I'll ask it anyway. And I guess my question is, where do you see yourself going from here?
From here, I'll drop a little secret. If you stay tuned on all of my business social medias at Dreaming Sweets, I will be announcing a new big partnership.
Oh, wow.
This week, I will announce it.
We can't get the exclusive.
We gotta build up. We gotta read the first chapter of the book to get to the good part.
She said, "Y'all ain't finna mess me up announcing it early." So,
and I want to find myself getting into high schools so I could really reach the demographic. Because, like you said earlier, most people have it instilled in their mind that college is the only answer. Yeah. And I feel like if I had people who were like me, who showed up in my high school class to let me know the choices, I wouldn't feel as isolated on this journey.
Wow.
Because it's hard finding peers in this avenue sometimes.
Yeah.
So I would like to do that. Find the peers and give the hope.
Yeah, I love that. Well, be encouraged. You know, that's part of the process where, you know, all the greats say that they had a certain level of kind of loneliness. Even if they had people around them, they just didn't see what you see. So, you know, that's not a bad thing, but I love what you're saying about surrounding yourselves with people who are like-minded, because that surrounding thing is so important. That law of association is real, you know, and either you're influencing them or they're influencing you. And so I'm encouraged just by talking to you today. And I believe that, you know, you'll do that, whatever this partnership is that you can't tell us today. We're going to be looking for it, but I believe that's going to be and I believe that'll just be a door to the next door. I just think there's going to be great things that are in store for you, and you're going to do well, and you will travel, and you will go speak to people and encourage people and do all of that. Maybe someone watching now who wants to bring you in and speak to, you know, their youth and young adults, or maybe to this business whatever seminar that they're having, whatever it is. I think, you know, you don't have to have the business degrees and the MBA and all this other stuff. What you have is life experience, and you know exactly how you got to where you are. And so I think it's so powerful that you're doing that. Continue blessings, Trinity Mark. So I'm saying I'm encouraged by what you're doing so much, and I believe that without a doubt you're going to go far, and you're going to do extremely, extremely well. So continue to be encouraged. Thank you for coming on today and sharing all that you've shared. Tell us how we can stay in contact, how the people can reach out to you. I saw someone in the comments saying, do you do mail orders? They want you to.
Yes, I do ship popcorn. I do
ship popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mama says she does.
Yeah, she sure does. She's quick. She's really quick.
She's quick. She does. Like, here it is right here.
Giggling in the corner. She's so
Yeah,
quick.
yeah. Mama's got your back. That's outstanding.
Yes, you can stay connected with us. All of our socials are Dreaming Sweets. On the TikTok is Dreaming Sweets ATL. I do warn though, you will get itis through the screen. My mission is to make you drool.
To make you drool. Now she has some amazing items, and we didn't load up any pictures today, but I mean, this stuff is like the presentation, like she said, is phenomenal. And what we'll do is we'll put some of the pictures in the comment section so you can see it. But you need to go to the website anyway, dreamingsweets.com. You need to follow her on Instagram, follow her on Facebook and all the other stuff to make sure you stay connected, you know. But she says she's trying to break y'all diets and all of that. So, you know, y'all just make sure y'all be careful over there. I'm not liable for any poundage that you put on.
I mean, I do have zucchini bread. That's a vegetable.
Oh, she's got zucchini
there
bread.
are apples too.
But bread, though, that's the part.
Look, I got you, though. I got you. This is healthy. It could be.
Y'all see that presentation?
Nuts are protein. Chocolate is chocolate. It's a green apple, though. I promise.
And she's a saleswoman too. Y'all got that part?
Water cool well. Mm-hmm.
So y'all make sure y'all follow her and connect with her. Blessing. That's my mom right there, Trinity. She says blessing to you. See there, Trinity, your mama on.
Thank you.
My mama on. You know what I mean? I can't let you have your mama on. Then my mama ain't on here. You see what I mean? So yeah, but it's beautiful. I think what you're doing is amazing. So thank you so much for jumping on with us tonight. Outstanding job, young lady. Continue to make everybody proud. And I see you got celebrities stopping in. You know, I'm seeing on the Instagram page and they finding you and all the other stuff. You know, it's up from here. You know what I mean? So thank you again. Is there any last words you have before we sign off?
I think we got it covered. Oh, yeah. Stay tuned for that big news.
Stay tuned for the big news. Y'all go follow her and all of that. So when she drops the big news, we can say we once knew her. And she don't forget the little people down here, you know, that kind of thing. So we appreciate you, Trinity. Y'all give it up for Trinity Marks for joining us today. Thank you so much, Trinity.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime you're launching a new product or something, you come back and talk to us about it.
Oh, it's my grandma. She said, that's my
granddaughter. That's my granddaughter. Thank you, Mrs. Melba, for being on tonight. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. As didn't I tell you? I tried to told you. I told you Miss Trinity was outstanding. Now, if that didn't encourage you, I don't know if you can be encouraged because, you know, to see what she's doing at her age. And here's the thing, for those of us who are just a few years older than her, guess what? It's not too late for you either. You at the perfect age to get started. One of the things that I heard from her is, you know, when she got moving, that favor kicked in. And I'm telling you, she found herself in different places. And she was willing to trust the gifts that God had given her. She said, I took that Chipotle money and I invested in me. And I knew what I did well, and I knew they would sell, and I took that and I kept flipping it. See, entrepreneurs, guess what? When you make $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, whatever you make, it ain't time to go to the Bahamas. You know what I mean? We ain't going to the DR. It's time to put the money back into your business, continue to invest in yourself, and continue to let it turn over. You will have plenty of time to vacation and all that later on. But right now, you got to roll it over, and you got to allow it to continue to flip. And look where she is now and where she's headed. You know, and with that discipline early on, I believe it's going to serve her well as she continues to move on up the entrepreneurial ladder. So I'm excited about it. 19, I can only imagine what she's going to be in a few years, you know. So I'm excited about that. I know you all are as well. Hey, let me just give you a few things as we sign off. I want to invite you to watch us on MidLink. You never know what MidLink, what's going to happen. We're here on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, wherever you are in the world. Facebook, YouTube, join us. Make sure that you got your notification bells on. Make sure you got all the subscribe and all the other stuff you need to do so you don't miss it. But we're here, and sometimes we do teaching, that kind of thing. But then other times we have amazing guests like we did tonight with Miss Trinity Marks. So join us on MidLink. Then on Sundays at 8 o'clock a.m., I do something called the Sunday morning meetup. I know I missed you this past Sunday. I had so many things going on. Please forgive me. But typically on Sundays at 8 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, I do just a little brief encouragement. It's not a full online service or anything like that. Just a brief encouragement to get your day started. Right here where you're watching, you can join us for that. And of course, I've got to invite you out to the People Place Church, 10 o'clock a.m. on Sundays, 201 George Wallace Drive, Gadsden, Alabama. We'd love for you to be a part of what's happening at the People Place Church. I just started a series where we're in this family month at the People Place, and I'm teaching this series called This Functional Family. Not dysfunctional, but this functional family. It has been wonderful. And if you missed this Sunday's message, you can go and listen to it on our website. And you can go to thepeopleplace.net and click that little tab at the top right that says Sermons and Streams. And you can go and check out not only the message from Sunday, but then the messages that are from previous weeks as well. Lastly, but certainly not leastly, on this upcoming Sunday, we're kicking off. We do this twice a year. We do it in January, then we do it in August. We're kicking off a 21-day time of prayer and fasting. And you said, well, why are you announcing this? Because there's so many of you who joined us on this fasting and prayer journey. And so we open it up to whomever would like to be a part. We want to create community concerning this. It's one thing to fast and pray. It's another thing to go through it with a group that can support and love on you and pray for you and share recipes and all this other stuff. And so if you want to participate with us, you're more than welcome to. You can text 21-day fast to 94,000, 21-day fast to 94,000. That's going to cause you to be part of our group where you'll receive prayers and text messages, scriptures and different things throughout the 21 days. You'll get some tips and different things. You'll get our 21 days of prayer and fasting guide so that you can kind of map out your time of fasting and praying. And so again, 21 days of fasting, that's from August 20th through September 10th. Text 21-day fast. And man, I'm telling you, you want to be a part of what's happening. You can also go to our Facebook group, 21 Days of Prayer and Fasting, and join the party. It's going to be phenomenal. You ought to have expectations of great breakthroughs during this time. Hey, that's my time. Thank you so much for joining us again. I'm excited for you. I know you're encouraged. I know your fire has been lit, man. Some of you are going to be up tonight. You're going to be writing down stuff, and I got to do this and all this. I'm telling you this, man. 17, started 17, 18, then, man, come on now. We got to get it, man. I'm trying to tell you, my fire was already lit. She just poured gas on it. And so it's time for me to get some going. I got to get it. All right, y'all. Much love to you. I pray that the Lord will bless you and bless you indeed. I pray that he would enlarge your territory. His hand would be on you and with you, and he will keep you from evil and from harm. That's my prayer for you. I'll talk to you real soon. All right. Everybody be blessed.